Welcome to yoga for low back stuff. I am thrilled to be focusing on the low back. I'm excited that I have this opportunity to share all these cool things I've learned over the years. So let's start with 3 ohms. Welcome. Starting with some side body stretches, inhaling the hands up and then over to one side. I've been enjoying bringing the pinky side down, plugging in the sit bone, so drawing a long line of energy from fingertips to sit bone, and breathing. This version of the shoulder is also kind of blocking the shoulder girdle in front of any compression points in there, in the joint of the shoulder. Option to look up to the sky for bonus neck stretching. I'm going to invite you to inhale through center and over to the other side. Plugging in the sit bone, angling the pinky side down, palm toward you. Option to look up. How's your breathing today? Without trying to change anything, do you sense that your breathing is more focused, less focused, longer, shorter breaths? I invite you to give yourself permission to make this your own practice, to join me for some or all of this session, to take what you see here and sprinkle it throughout your day as homework. Releasing to center, and then bringing the bottoms of the feet together for Baddha Konasana. Fan the toes, tip forward. Try to keep your spine straight this time. I usually like to give the option to really bow down, and if your back rounds, no big deal. And today, let's make this about the inner thigh, about the hips. And breathe. Guide the elbows down and in, shoulder blades down and back. Offer yourself this practice as a form of meditation, a moving meditation. Offer yourself this practice as a form of prayer, as a form of wellness and caretaking, and giving yourself delicious, generous attention. Inhaling, coming up. And let's use a wall. So if you didn't start off next to a wall, I invite you to find a wall. Scoot your bottom up against the wall. If you're using a mat, I invite you to take your legs and your arms off the mat, and then swing onto your back. So your back is centered on the mat, and then legs are naturally off the wall. Pick up the shoulders, walk the shoulders down, and pause here. Viparita Karani, reversing the flow of prana, of chi, of energy flowing down the body. This is called the Great Rejuvenator because it does both, and it helps to, if you're feeling tired, it helps to wake you up. If you're feeling too busy-minded, it helps calm you down. So I love Viparita Karani as homework, as something to, at that 2-3 o'clock hour of the day when you feel like you've got more to do, but you don't really have the energy to do it, you can come to Viparita Karani. You can also do this in a version with the legs on a chair, with the legs bent on a chair. And this is where we're going next anyway. So take the knees, bend them, stretch the arms over the head, and just breathe. For this next part, keep your face looking up to the sky. Don't look over at me. Keep your face looking up because we're going into bridge at the wall. And you want to be mindful of your neck. You want to be careful that you're not lifting the hips and crunching up the neck in an unhealthy way. So look straight up and down. And inhale, lift the hips. Exhale, lower them down. Pressing through the wall with the feet, leveraging through the wall with the feet, inhaling up. Exhaling, lowering down. Good. Do that 3 more times. Inhale up. Breathing out, lowering down. When you land, relax the thighs, relax all the way. On the last one, stay up. Take the hands and place them at the low back. Mindful again of the neck. Holding just above the hip bones. Inflate the belly big on the inhale. Engage the core on the exhale. Slowly remove the hands from the low back and lower down. 1 vertebra at a time. Upper back. Then the mid back. Eventually, the low back lands down on the ground. All right, so lift the feet away from the wall, roll the ankles. Take the left leg up the wall and take the right ankle across the left thigh. Flexing this foot, Right foot is kind of at a 90-degree angle, engaging the shin muscles, protecting the knee. Slide the left foot down the wall, figure 4 at the wall. You're welcome to press this right knee away. Keep flexing left foot. If there's any play or give or micro movements that the pelvis needs to make to adjust this hip opener, I invite you to experiment with creating the just right angle, the Goldilocks angle for hip, low back, for the stretch here that you want to see inside yourself and feel inside yourself. Turn your attention inward. Give yourself the sensitive awareness of your attention and be with yourself in a way that is the way you would be with a good friend. Be with yourself in a way that is really friendly, non-judgmental, allowing. All of you is welcome here. All the places inside you that are scared, that are angry, that are happy, joyful, all the ways that you are. Your creativity is welcome here. So feel free to get as creative as you want in your practice. Be with yourself in that generously creative way. Last breath here. Straightening the left leg up the wall, uncrossing the right, and then switching sides. Take the left ankle across the right leg and slide the left foot down the wall. Feel free to push this left knee away, flex left foot. Nice 90-degree angle in the ankle. Press into this shape, using your pelvis to dial in where you're going to get the best hip opener, low back opener. So when doing yoga for low back stuff, we're focusing on, right now, hip openers. We'll do a little bit of hamstring stretching today. Some core. We've already done a little bit of core with that bridge at the wall. We'll do some more. So one of my favorite ways to be with my low back, to give my low back loving attention, is to allow my spine to oscillate with every breath that I take. Even here, the small of my back is moving just slightly. I can't even help myself. My low back oscillates and moves. My whole spine really oscillates and moves with this opportunity to open up the belly for the inhale, engage the core, strengthen the core on the exhale. Let that diaphragm have the space that it needs to come down into the abdomen, to create the vacuum for the lungs to fill up completely. The breath is really the key aspect for me of yoga. I come back to my breath over and over and over. It's like I'm doing yoga all day long as I notice my breath, breathing, notice my breath. Lengthening right leg up the wall, uncrossing the left. And then just noticing, pausing in Viparita Karani. Legs up the wall, pausing here. I like to take the arms over the head for an added shoulder opener. And again, this is your homework, legs up the wall. Give yourself this option to rejuvenate yourself. All right, next is our butterfly legs up the wall. So slide the bottoms of the feet together, sole to sole, ankles up the wall. Slide your feet towards your center, towards yourself. And you're welcome to take the hands in the same shape. Option 1. Or option, take the thumb and forefinger into the hip crease, thumb toward your inner thigh, and traction the low back, kind of press the femur, the thigh bone, toward the wall. And you can do that very slightly, or you can really press into the thigh. Or option 3, pressing onto the knees, guiding the knees toward the wall. Checking in with the rest of your body, right? Noticing your body sensations, making sure that the kind of back of the neck is long, that the shoulders are rolling down and back. You're also welcome to rock from side to side. Closing the knees, like a book hugging the knees into the chest. Rolling onto one side. Pausing for a little rebirth in this embryo shape. And then pressing up to tabletop. Hands and knees. Knees under the hips, hands under the shoulders. Good old-fashioned cat-cow, looking up and looking down. 2, 3, or 4 of those. Inhaling up, exhaling down, letting yourself breathe fully and completely, letting yourself open yourself and round. So, looking up and looking down. And then incorporating cement truck rolls. So the ribs go side, then down, then side, then up. Bending the elbows and being really generous with pelvic tilt. Moving head, neck, shoulders. Good. Other way. On the inhale, my belly drops down. On the exhale, engage the core. Exhale completely. Great, and then hips forward. Inhale, kind of an up dog. Exhale, hips back to a child's pose. And if you like to add a figure 8 with the belly button, draw a figure 8 with the belly button as you drop back, exhaling a child's pose, inhaling, up dog, swaying the hips from side to side. You go both directions, reverse that figure 8. And back to child's pose. Let's open the knees wide, take the hands between the legs and turn the head to the side for wide knee balasana. And so add drawing the tail down toward the heels. And that might tug on your neck a little bit, so adjust your neck. And then turn your head the other way. And then inhale, rise up, slide the arms out from under you. Rock into this zigzag shape here. Sort of flex the feet a little bit so there's that 90-degree angle in a way protecting the knee, and then a gentle twist. Look over your shoulder. And then on your next exhale, turn your head over the opposite shoulder toward the front. Inhale, center, look behind you, then exhale. Inhale through center. Exhale, look over your front shoulder, keeping the body in a twist. Last one, look behind you. And then inhale, return the whole torso to center. Switch the legs, take the knees in the other direction, feet opposite way, a little flex of the ankles. Exhale, look over the opposite shoulder. Always get your foundation of support set and kind of organize yourself in a way that helps you feel supported and grounded, and then create the next part of the pose. Stack everything from the bottom up. So inhale, center, and then exhale, look over your front shoulder. Keep the body twisted. Inhale, center, look behind you. Exhale. Inhale, center, slowly. Keep the body in the twist, but moving the neck. Breathing in and breathing out. Inhale, back to center. Let's take both feet up against the wall again. This time you'll want to measure so that the feet are flat on the wall. Bend into the knees, probably about a 45-degree angle. Slowly lower down onto your back. And then take your feet up the wall. So measure so that you can have your feet about a foot up off the ground. Pick up the chest, roll the shoulders underneath. And this is the ab work. So press into the wall. And then on your next exhale, lift upper body, looking straight up to the sky. Reaching fingertips toward your toes. Push, push, push into the wall. And then relax down. Resting. A deep cleansing breath where you sigh it out. And then feet still about a foot up off the ground. We'll do it again. Breathe in, lift. Reach. And then after a few breaths, lower down. Scoot toward the wall a little more so your feet are a little higher. Maybe like 2 feet off the ground now. And when you're ready, press into the wall, lifting the hips, making a nice straight line from the upper back to the feet. Try not to put any pressure on that C7, that cervical spine. You should be able to have a little bit of space for your neck. Push, push, push into the wall. And then lower down. A breath to cleanse that. And then again, lift, push into the wall. Lift a straight plank here. Push, push, push into the wall. Pressure into the upper back, but not on the neck bones. Squeeze the abs, firm the thighs, squeeze the buttocks. Notice, experiment with squeezing the buttocks and then relaxing. And then squeezing and then relaxing. Maybe do it with your breath. Inhale and then squeeze the buttocks on the exhale. Lower down. Hug the knees into the chest. Draw circles with the knees. Come to this practice with a sense of appreciation. Come to this practice with a sense of, oh, I'm doing something for my health and well-being today. Practicing loving myself, practicing loving what is. Sort of rocking a little from side to side, taking a bit of a hip stretch as you draw the knees across the body slightly. So next, extend the arms over the head, extend the legs toward the wall and touch, and then bring the hands and the knees together. So we'll do, say, 5 of those. Experiment where it feels good to breathe. I'm breathing during the transition. And then exhaling, exhaling, exhaling as I squeeze. Taking a little sniff of air and then exhaling, exhaling, exhaling as I point. I'm not really putting my weight on the wall, but a little tap with the toes. One more. And then back to neutral. And then we'll take one leg up to the sky and then lower it, tap to the wall. And then switch other leg up to the sky, lower it, tap the wall. It's so kind of like this bicycle pedal, switching, hugging one knee in, lowering down, switching, tap the wall, switching, tap the wall. One more each side. Very nice. And then take the knees, the shins parallel to the sky, the knees over the hips. And then dip the toe into the mat, into the water. So little toe touches. Exhaling. Inhaling as you bring the legs together, breathing out as you touch the toes. One more each side. Take the legs up to the sky, roll the ankles. You can hold the back of the legs if necessary, or reach the hands over the head. We'll add one more here where you're not pausing, just touch, touch, and just sort of take it that double time. And then crisscross the ankles, squeeze the legs together and touch. Switch to crossing. Switch to crossing. Switch to crossing. Do 2 more each side. Plug the knees into the chest. Rocking slightly from side to side. And then rocking slightly from head to toe. And then, if you can, add a slight pause at the top. For a variation of boat pose at the wall. Option for the knees to be bent or for the knees to be straight. But lift the heart as much as possible, straightening the low back. Good, and then slow down the spinal roll until you're back on your back. Roll over onto your side. Pausing again for a little rebirth in the middle of your practice. Press the bottom hand into the earth, slowly rolling up. Inhaling. Onto your knees. So if you can, sit on your knees. If you can't, option to do this on your belly. So you lay on your belly and guide your feet towards your buttocks. But if you can sit on your knees, I invite you to just slowly sink in here. Support yourself with your hands behind you, tend to your fingers. If you don't have any wrist issues and you want to go a little further down, you can come to the palms of the hands. And then the move goes like this. Inhaling, lifting the hips, stretching the thighs, exhaling, lowering down. Inhale, lift and stretch. Exhale, drop down. Inhale, squeeze the buttocks, stretch the thighs, draw the tail between the legs, lifting the hips, and then release down, relaxing. Good. Come to sit here on your heels. If you can sit on your heels, just pause for Virasana for a moment, hero pose. Checking in with your breath, with your body, with your heart. Let's add a side body stretch. Again, so leaning over to one side. Adding the arms. And then leaning over to the other side. Give yourself a child's pose, bowing down. Knees together if you can. Squish the belly into the thighs. Tend to the fingers if that suits your shoulders. Draw the forehead down. Nice active child's pose, drawing the tail down toward the heels, fingertips away. Next inhale, press up through all fours, flip the toes. Exhale, lift the hips up and back for downward facing dog. Firm the thighs, draw the heels down. Press into thumb and forefinger. Hollow out the belly. Bring the right foot between the hands. Anjaneyasana, runner's lunge. Squeeze the left glute. Option to come up. Hands to thighs. Put the knee down in the back. Rock the hips over that back knee, straighten the front leg. Draw the heart toward the knee. Bit of a hamstring stretch here. Check in with your hips, that they are lined up. Option to point the toe, or flex the toe, or both. Try and keep your back straight. And if that means coming up a lot, that's okay. Hopefully you've got a wall. And then we'll rock the hips forward. Knee down in the back. Hold on wherever you can. Switching sides. You're welcome to switch sides in an easy way, coming to tabletop, or give yourself a downward facing dog. Left foot forward, right foot back here in our lunge. Squeeze the right glute. Good. Put the knee down and rock the hips back. So hips are right over that back knee. Extend the front leg, straightening the front leg, pointing the toe or flexing the toe, or both. Straight spine. Lift the heart, roll the shoulders back and down. Tuck the chin slightly. Walk forward, come up. Continue to squeeze the right glute. From here, entwine the foot so you're able to get your weight underneath this left foot, and then step forward to a forward fold. Right meets the left, bend the knees, drop the head. And just let the spine unwind. Keep those knees bent to keep the integrity of the low back. Bob up and down with your breath. So as you breathe in, Let your inflation of your lungs pick you up slightly, like a balloon bobbing on a lake. Relax the back of the neck as much as you can. Bend the knee, roll up one vertebra at a time until you can come to a version of half dog at the wall. So option to take the half dog at the wall or more of a wider angle, or if you can get hips and hands in line to make sort of a box shape, 90-degree angle here. Follow up the belly. Hug the muscles toward the midline. Pick up the toes, spread the toes, put them back down. And then release back down to a forward fold. So, protecting that low back, bend your knees. If you can straighten your low back and your upper back, straighten it. Let your head dangle. Stepping to plank. Hands under the shoulders. Straight line with the body. Back door of the heart, pressing up to the sky. Lower down. You can put your knees down if you want, elbows in. Rock forward a few inches over the hands and then lower, lower, lower down very slowly onto the belly. Press up to child's pose once more. Option 2, tent the fingers. Draw the heels, the tail to the heels. Inhale back up to tabletop. Notice the feel of the body. Feel your body sensations. Give yourself a moment to extend the right arm and the left leg. If you can touch the wall, you can use the wall for support. Good bird dog. Some call this tricky cat. Plant the hand, then bring that left knee to the left elbow. Slide the knee down toward the wrist, and then slide it back up. Put the foot down on the outside of that left wrist, circle the hips. Place the knee back down. Extend the left arm and the right leg. Hug the abs up. Straighten the spine. Place the left hand. Bring the right knee to the right elbow. Slide down to the wrist. Keep your back straight. And back up with the knee to the elbow. Plant the right foot outside the right hand. Circle the hips. Fourth direction. Ironing out any kinks you have along the way. And from here, fold the knee underneath. Sit down on the bottom. Cross the legs or stack one leg in front of the other. Give yourself some seated cat-cow here. And looking up and looking down. Breathing in and breathing out. When you breathe in, the belly opens up. As you breathe out, engage the core. Right, finish on an inhale. And then lay on down onto your back. If you want to use the wall to keep your feet straight up and down, so you can just relax your feet and still keep your knees facing up, lower down. One vertebra at a time. And when there's that little hump, that place where it's like, whoop, try and slow down even more. Good. So pressing the feet into the wall, reach the hands over the head, palms facing each other, thumbs down. And then go for the elbows, wrap the hands around the elbows, make kind of a box with your arms. Press into the wall with your toes if you've got your feet on the wall. Sort of draw the shoulder blades down the back by leveraging weight through the toes. Like I'm drawing the tissue in between the shoulder blades. Down, it's a bit of a self-massage here. Release the arms and then take the arms across the body, drawing the triceps down to a T. Wrap your arms around yourself. Give yourself a hug. If you want to support the low back, you can bend the knees, take the feet wide, and draw the knees toward each other. Wrap your arms around yourself. Appreciate yourself. Embrace yourself with that friendly, unconditional love, the kind of love that you give unconditionally to your friends, the kind of love you give to your friends, never judging them, never criticizing them, right? Being as kind to yourself as you are to your friends. Turn the head from side to side. And then relax into however you want to rest today. Give yourself several minutes, up to 20 minutes of resting is the suggestion. Additionally, legs are long, a little wider with the legs and arms. Jaw drops, tongue relaxes back, eyes soften. Receiving the benefits of this practice with equanimity, drinking in the benefits of this practice, integrating the benefits, offering yourself an easy way of being with yourself. Really wiggling around until you find the place of stillness. Coming back to the surface, wiggling the fingers and toes, rolling the wrists and the ankles, hugging the knees, into the chest. Rolling over onto one side. Using your top hand to press into the earth, inhaling up. Loka, samasta, sukhino, bhavantu. Loka, samasta, sukhino, bhavantu. Loka, samasta, sukhino, bhavantu. Om Shanti. 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 May all beings everywhere be happy, peaceful, and free. Om peace, peace, perfect peace. Thank you for practicing with me.